A Google Maps detour strands more than 100 vehicles near the Colorado airport. Did you see this?
No.
So, first of all, I am a big user, not Google Maps. I always use the Apple, I guess it's Apple Maps. I don't know, the one that comes on the iPhone. And I trust it. I have, like gotten everywhere I've gone the past couple years off just putting in the address and following it there. My wife has an inherent distrust of following the maps that other people. I'll put in the destination and I'm like, all right, well, it says to go this way, this way, and this way. And she's like, well, what are the cross streets? And starts like really trying to deconstruct it. I'm like, fuck, I don't know. I just do what she tells me to do. When she says turn right, I turn right. And she's like, a lot of times they don't lead you the fastest routes. And I'm like, well, typically I get there, If it says it's going to take 22 minutes, usually it does. Well, apparently Google Maps had set all these people getting off the airplanes on this certain path. Let me see where they were actually headed. But they ended up just completely bottlenecked on this completely remote dirt road. And there's hundreds of them just standing outside their vehicles looking around like, what the fuck happened? Okay,
That's
drivers headed to the Denver International Airport said they were diverted by Google Maps Sunday due to a crash on Pina Boulevard that led the app to offer a detour. The drivers were led down a dirt road that soon turned muddy due to recent rains, and vehicles ended up stuck with about 100 cars lined up behind them.
I was going to say, I was like, how did this happen? Because I've taken that I-70 to Pena. Like, that's how I get to the airport.
Okay.
And I'm very familiar with this. So I was like, how the hell did this happen? It's literally, we have a freeway that just goes to our airport. So I was like, why the hell is this happening? But that makes sense. There must have been a crash. And then out by our airport, there is nothing. It's like a 40-minute drive to Denver. It's ridiculous. There's nothing around it.
That's crazy that that it updated it in real time to know that there was an accident en route. I don't think that the iPhone does that.
Yeah, that's the thing about Google is that it'll literally even Google, you'll be on the freeway and they're like, get off on this exit, go down the frontage road, hop back on because there's an accident in between these two.
Have you had good experience with it?
Yes, except for over by DIA. My wife's friend bought a place in this like new subdivision. It's kind of in the middle of nowhere. And we took the thing and it just like it took us to some area. Then we're like, where is this? And then on the back of the invitation, it said, do not use Google Maps. It does not work where we live.
Wow.
And they gave us actual directions. And we were like, so then we were like 45 minutes late to this person's housewarming party.
They were the ones that said, don't use it because it's not going to. So obviously somebody had made the mistake before.
Yeah. And I was like, oh shit. So that's the only time. But besides that, Google Maps has always been great for me.
I remember this was years ago. I delivered pizza and I didn't have the smartphone yet. I had one of those. Who makes them? Fuck, they're old, but
Garmin or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. That's right. And so I had that hooked up, and I had put in the directions to this one of the addresses that I was going to for this delivery, and ended up hitting just this small dirt road that led straight to a dead end. Turns out it used to be a road, but they shut it down, and I guess the Garmin wasn't aware of this, so I was just like, oh shit. I had to actually use a map, and that was catastrophic.
Yeah, I don't even know. Like, I used to use maps, and I don't even know if I know how to do one anymore. I probably end up in the middle of nowhere.
Well, and what sucks about this, dude, is like back in the day, I used to be able to memorize how to get to people's houses. Now I have no fucking idea. I've gone to a person's house 5 times and not have a clue on how to get there because I'm just in autopilot following the directions.
Yeah, I do the same thing. Like, I'll be like, I've been to this person's house. I'll know the general area. I'll know like the first half of the trip. And then I'm like, what street do I turn on? Because you used to have to remember. It's like people's phone numbers. I don't know. I know my wife's phone number and that's literally it. Everyone else, if I lost my cell phone, I could call one person. That's it.
Do you remember your phone number at your childhood home?
No, I don't.
9390318 was like the house that I lived at the longest growing up. I remember that.
I do not remember. No, I'm shocked I don't.
You remember any old girlfriend's numbers or anything?
Oh, fuck no. I didn't know there's numbers even at the time.
Yeah, yeah, man. I definitely used to be able to like photographically remember phone numbers. I had 100 of them in my head, and now, yeah, same situation. I don't think I've looked at anybody's phone numbers. They're just saved in your contacts by their name, so I don't. They might as
Well,
well.
it's the whole thing too. You get a new phone and you lose a couple numbers. Someone texts you. I'm like, I have no fucking idea who you are. Like, you don't exist to me.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Oh, so this is a side tangent. Whatever, we'll come back around to it later. It's about a faith healer church that came through. So remind me about that before we.
Okay, Faith Healer Church. Faith. Okay,
It's forgotten. It's yeah, right. We'll see. We'll see if it comes back around. All right.
I'll remember that as well if I do a phone number.
Yeah, correct. Scientists investigate what triggered unusual 3-shark attack that killed U.S. woman Jordan Lindsay in Bahamas. Now, this definitely qualifies as weird news. Not the most funny story. I definitely wanted to bring it up because it's what I've been kind of reading up on the past couple of days. Did you hear about the California girl that was down in the Bahamas swimming with the pigs? She got attacked and killed by 3 sharks. So in the Bahamas, there's a place called, I think it's called the Bay of Pigs, if I'm not mistaken. It got to be a very popular influencer destination. Your Kardashians or whatever would go down there and they dive with this herd of pigs. Nobody really knows how they got to the island, but there's a couple dozen of them, and people will go and swim in this beautiful crystal clear water and take pictures with these pigs. Well, this girl was down there vacationing. She's like a huge animal person, 22 years old, somewhere between 20 and 22. And she was out there swimming. Her mother was in the water with her. Her family's up on the beach, and the father saw sharks approaching her and started calling out to her, and she didn't hear them. She wasn't able to react in time, and a big ass tiger shark bit her one time. Other sharks came in, started fighting over her, pulled limbs off, just fucking tore her to pieces basically, while everybody sat there and watched, and then just kind of swam off, disappeared. People were out there diving later on that day and got pictures of one of the 3 sharks that were supposedly responsible. But dude, this is such a freak accident, and I'm trying to like piece together how it happened. And this is like something, how do you even, figure that out? Like, how can you say what the motive of a fish was? But as unusual as shark attacks are, the fact that there were 3 tiger sharks in the same area is pretty unusual within itself because they're solitary hunters. So I just thought it was strange, man.
I've never heard, because Bay of Pigs, of course, I think of what, Cuba, isn't that where the Bay of Pigs is?
Oh, so, you know what, bro? You're yes.
No, so I Googled it, the Bay of Pigs or Bay of Pigs on Eczema Island.
Yeah.
Search Bahama Bay of Pigs, and it's crazy. The like off subject a little bit is just to see these pigs out there swimming in this crystal clear water. It's fucking weird.
Yeah, like what are they doing there?
This is the weirdest pic. I'm going to show you. This is some sick fuck gave this pig a hot dog.
Cruel.
Holy shit. That's terrifying.
So I started thinking, man, maybe the pigs are a food source for predatory sharks.
That's what I was thinking.
Turns out, no, a couple of pigs have died out there lately, and there was kind of unexplained reasons why. And I was thinking, well, shit, they got picked off by sharks. Turns out they found the bodies of the pigs intact, floating around out in the water out there. So even dead pigs aren't getting picked off by sharks, which are typically scavengers. So it's just really strange, man. And I mean, people go down there and not only swim with the pigs, but there's like nurse shark sanctuaries where you can go and swim with the nurse sharks. This is the first fatal shark attack in around 10 years in the Bahamas.
That's just so weird that, 3 of them, because my brain went to where yours did right away. I was like, well, it's probably because there's pigs always out there. It's easy. It's an easy food source. But if they're not eating the pigs, that's very weird.
And obviously people aren't natural prey for sharks. I'm sure that once there was blood in the water, that's what the other sharks were probably responding to, Tiger sharks, man.
Blood and movement.
Yep. And tiger sharks have a pretty bad reputation. And now when I say that, it's not like most sharks are aggressive, but of all of the shark species, I think tiger sharks and bull sharks are said to be the most aggressive, white sharks are responsible for the most deaths, but when a shark is that big, an exploratory bite on your leg, you're gonna fucking bleed out.
Yeah, you hit an artery on your leg and you're done.
Yep. Yeah, and it doesn't matter. Like, the great whites aren't out there trying to eat people. They'll hit you one time to find out what you are, and at that point, it's already too late. You know, where if like a cookie cutter shark or a nurse shark bites you, chances are pretty good you'll walk away from it. You know.
Holy shit, that's a weird story.
Yeah, I want to say, like, I've told you on the show before, like, I am terrified of sharks, and it's kind of a unjustified fear because of how many people swim with sharks and don't get attacked by them. But then there's these kind of horror stories where it's like, it's impossible not to think of that, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So in 2000, there were 79 shark attacks reported worldwide. 11 of them were fatal. I want to say you've got a chance of like 1 in 26 million of actually being attacked by a shark. So it's not something that I think people should, you know, don't live your life in fear of going in the water because of shark attacks, but you definitely should be mindful of it. I don't know what the takeaway from this situation is, other than it's really fucking sad, dude, and it's kind of a freak accident.
Yeah, it's one of those things, like, I don't even know, because normally I'm like cracking jokes, but I'm like, obviously I can't crack jokes, and I don't want to, of someone who died. Like, that's fucking crazy.
I think it is fair to say that with any wild animal, there's an inherent risk of like, you're putting yourself into an ecosystem and an environment that you're not dominant in. So when this kind of shit happens, it's like, you can't fault a shark for being a shark, you know?
Yeah, you see it all the time. Like, people get mauled by like a tiger or something. You're like, well, you did hang out with a tiger. Like, yeah, that's what they do. Yeah.
Okay, here we go. Somebody asked, what are the chances of being bitten by a shark? The odds of getting attacked and killed by a shark are 1 in 3,748,067. In a lifetime, you're more likely to die from fireworks, lightning, drowning, a car accident, stroke, or heart disease. Well, yeah, way more likely.
Well, my thing is yeah, that's true, but you got to think that actually is surprisingly high for me, because you got to think those are people who actually have to be in a situation where they're even able to be attacked by a shark. I'm obviously not going to be walking in my neighborhood and get attacked by a shark. So
yeah,
number's higher than I thought it would be.
Yeah, you're actually right about that as well, though. Like, I wonder, like, if you live in a landlocked state, are your odds the same as a person that lives on the fucking water? You know, like, that's like, the weird thing. They're taking the whole human population to come up with this average. You'd imagine people in the water are way more susceptible to it.
Way more.
And then what fucking difference does it make the statistics when you're in the jaws of a shark? Like, who, you know what I mean? One person is just as likely as another because it's just such a random occurrence.
I can confidently say I have a 0% chance of being attacked by a shark. I live in Colorado.
Right.
Unless there's like a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle mutant shark that walks up and knocks on my door and eats me, it's not going to happen.
Right. Yeah. All right. Well, sad. We'll move on to this next one. Speaking of sharks, fermented rotting shark creates a stink at Sweden's disgusting food museum. So I happened to come across this video yesterday. I did a video on it, like a reaction to a lot of these gross foods at this Swedish museum, and some of them, dude, are just so gross and out there. And then our entry in this museum, the things that America premiered as their disgusting food is root beer and Jello cakes.
I agree with both of those.
You're not a root beer drinker.
I mean, it's okay, but it's kind of disgusting.
Is it?
Yeah, it's like a weird flavor. I can see, like, if you're not accustomed to it and thinking it's disgusting.
That's a good point. So, like, culturally, people have different delicacies, obviously. But to me, like, there's just like a false equivalency between a sheep eye juice that's actually got a sheep eyeball and blood in it to fucking root beer. Gelatin, I think, is made from like cow bone marrow or something, but I don't know if that's really any grosser.
gelatin in general, like that texture is weird. You know what I mean? Like,
It
I can
is.
understand. Like it's so culturally based that there's things that Americans, even most Americans, you give them a fish head with fish eyeballs, they're gonna freak out, and that's like eaten all over the world.
Absolutely, absolutely. So this one that I've got on the screen right now is mouse wine. It is some sort of white wine, looks like a rice-based wine, and at the bottom of it, it is just full of fucking pinky mice that you would put in a snake cage to feed a snake, you know?
Would you try it?
Fuck no, dude. I don't think I
Fuck
could.
yeah, I
Would you?
be oh hell yeah, I'd eat all this shit.
All right, hold up. I'm gonna bring the next one up, and we'll see if you're committed to it. All right, this was it's like a cheese, and on the inside of it, it is crawling with live maggots.
I
You
would
fuck
try
with
it.
that? Would you?
Yeah. I've eaten grasshoppers, I've eaten ants, I haven't eaten a maggot, but I've eaten caterpillar.
Grasshopper is pretty good.
Yeah.
Or crickets is what I had. Sorry about the pop. Crickets is what I had.
And then a grasshopper. I also had a tarantula, which was delicious.
Was it really? My buddy Ray ate one of those.
Yeah, it was really good. Mine was cooked in like sugar base and caramelized. It tasted like popcorn. It was pretty good.
So Hakarl is a some sort of Scandinavian fermented shark jelly, basically. That I might be able to try, but Anthony Bourdain actually said it's the most disgusting thing he'd ever eaten, and homeboy had eaten some shit.
I would try all these things. Not saying I'd like them, but I'd try them all.
Oh man, I would try to try them all. One of them that's coming up. I don't
Until I
want
got
to.
sick.
Yeah, I think it's the psychological element of it. I don't know that I could not get sick. One of them's a bull dick.
I've eaten bull testicles.
Have you really? Rocky Mountain oysters?
Yep.
Are they good?
Tastes like chicken fried steak. It just tastes like chicken fried steak. It's not good or bad. Just
Texture?
alright. Just it literally, if I give you a piece of chicken fried steak, you can tell the difference.
Oh, okay. Wow.
Yeah, it's literally just like that. It's pretty good.
I was surprised. Vegemite is one of the UK's entries into it. You ever had that before?
Yes. Have you had Vegemite?
Yeah, I have. It's
fucking
fine.
disgusting.
It's not that bad. It ain't good, but it's not that bad.
It's definitely way worse than tarantula.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like it's also cultural. Vegemite I think is pretty gross. Now that being said, I could eat it. Like I just had mine on a piece of toast. I don't know if that's how you're supposed to eat it. But
Yes, that's how I had mine.
Yeah, and it was shitty, but like I wouldn't. It wasn't gross enough to make me puke, but it wasn't like good enough to make me go, hey, I'll have another.
Yeah, Australians and the English, I think especially Australians love that shit. Roasted
Love that
guinea
shit.
pig.
Ooh, I would totally try that.
Yeah, I think I could actually try that too. They need to
Probably
do
sounds like
something
rabbit.
to obscure the fact that it's a roasted guinea pig, though. It's like they just pluck the hair off of it, split it open to clean it, and then just roast the entire thing. So its hands are
Hell
still
yeah.
there, its head's still there.
That's the best way to eat meat, man. I want it staring at me.
Man, it's so ridiculous. The exhibit, they've got 2 taxidermy guinea pigs that are like looking over this dead guinea pig.
That's
Musk
amazing.
sticks, Australia's favorite musk sticks. You know what that is?
No, never. Is it like a muskrat or what is it?
I don't know, man. It looks like candy. Let me pull this up real quick.
Have you ever had like Japanese fish paste?
Uh-uh.
That shit's gross. It's like in a tube. Oh, it's awful.
So Norway has it's caviar that comes in almost like a aluminum toothpaste bottle, and you spread it on top
Okay.
of crackers or whatever you want to. Vicky eats it on top of like salmon sandwiches, and it's really fucking good. It kind of tastes like that bacon cheddar cheese that like comes out of a can. You know what I'm talking about?
Okay.
It's not a bad
Yeah.
flavor. It's a little smoky tasting. I'm actually kind of a fan of it. Let's
That's what I'm
see.
saying. Half the stuff, like I've eaten some weird shit and been really, really surprised.
I don't know what musk sticks. Musk essence, gelatin, icing, and sugar. What is musk?
I have no idea.
No, I mean I thought it was like a scent.
Yeah, that's what I would have.
Strong
That's
reddish.
what I've always heard.
Oh, secreted by the male deer. Okay, I see.
Okay.
It's a little gross. Not bad. I'd fuck with it.
Try it.
Yeah. I'm cool with that. Like if you obscure what it is enough, like I probably wouldn't have a problem eating a sheep eyeball if I didn't know, like have to look at the fucking eyeball.
Have you ever eaten like any sort of eye before? Like fish eyes?
Nope.
I have. They're all right. They're then like They're nothing great, nothing bad.
This might hurt your heart. I know you're a big turtle fan. This one is a like they dry out entire turtles, like little baby turtles, like under 5 inches in circumference, completely dried, and then they just set them on top of like a salad, like several fresh vegetables. So I guess you're just eating an entire dehydrated turtle.
Like turtle jerky?
Dude, I guess. I mean, dude, like
I'm
shell
all about
there,
it.
shell
Oh, the
like
shells are?
it's the entire turtle. Like if you took a turtle and you just fucking freeze dried it and then set it on the top of some vegetables, that's what you're eating.
I wonder if you can eat the shell, like if it's like soft shell crab, or if it's
So you've had
if
soft
it's
shell
past a
crab.
certain day. Yeah,
That's pretty good.
love. It's really good. Deep fried whole crab, I'm all about it.
And then here in Florida, we eat some things that other people in the country don't think is good, like mullet. Have you ever had mullet before?
No, what is that?
It's just a fish. It's a bottom feeder though. That's the thing.
Oh,
It thrives in brackish water and they eat from the bottom, almost like a catfish. So when you
yeah.
fillet them, there's like a gray part of the fillet, which is basically just I think all the shit that it's been eaten over the years.
Yeah.
And a lot of people consider them trash fish, but they're like a favorite here in the area in particular. And I think they're great when you fry them.
That's a lot of these things. Like it's just cultural perceptions of it. It's not, you know, I'm so open. I eat anything. Like I'm one of those people. I will fucking eat anything. I will try anything.
I'd like to be that kind of person, and I've got a fairly diverse palate. There's not too many things that I have eaten that I think are just absolutely disgusting. Like I don't know if we've talked about it before. I've had frog. You ever had frog before?
Frog's great. Frog legs are great. Like little
Alligator?
chicken wings.
Yes, that's exactly what they're like.
Alligator, salty chicken. I love it.
That's a good. Yeah, these are good descriptors. All right, octopus,
I love octopus.
and then calamari, fried squid's pretty good.
I love calamari. Yep, I'll order that anywhere that has it.
So we got a lot of different seafoods that I think that people have tried before. What else? You got any other weird ones?
I'm trying to think. I don't think so. I'm sure something will come up because I always will be like, ooh, what's this? Let me try it. And when I go to a restaurant, I always order the weirdest thing if I've never been to a restaurant, I order the weirdest thing on the menu that I can find every time.
You ever had escargot?
Yeah, I actually have. It's really good. I had it at the same time I had frog legs.
Yeah, and escargot is great. It's really good. It's the flavor comes from the broth in it and stuff, and it's pretty damn good. So yeah,
It's a lot of work for a little bit of food though.
and then you think about it like lobsters, like the tradition of steaming a whole lobster and bringing it out on a
Yeah.
plate. I'm sure there's somebody somewhere that thinks that's disgusting.
Well, I know a lot of Americans who do. Like a lot of people in like landlocked states freak out when they see a lobster.
Really,
Yeah, it's weird as shit. I'm like, it's lobster. It's delicious. You'll love it.
big giant cockroach of the sea.
Oh, it's amazing.
Yeah,
Crab's
dude.
better, but
Crab is
lobster's
better.
great.
I
Yeah.
agree with you, man. Especially like Alaskan snow crab
Oh, yeah.
sets you free.
Now I want some fucking crab, some seafood. Damn, living in Denver, it's so expensive to get fresh anything.
Are there seafood restaurants in Denver?
Yeah, and there's like the good ones are the ones that they like fly it in fresh every day, but then you're paying for that.
We've got a place, Joe Patty's Seafood is one of our seafood markets where the boats actually pull up to it and they'll sell seafood off the boat. And then there's one called Maria's, and each of these places have seafood restaurants within them where you can get, I mean, the freshest fish you can find unless you go catch the shit yourself. So we're definitely big seafood fans.
That's what I miss about Seattle so much is the seafood.
Oh yeah, dude, y'all had like one of the biggest fish markets in the world over there.
Dude, next fucking level. Like it made me, I liked seafood before. Seattle made me into like a diehard seafood fan.
And then Victoria lived in South Korea, and she said the markets there are just so unique or unusual to what we're used to. They'll have like tanks with live fish swimming around in it, and you know, I think it's fairly accurate to say that people in China will eat all sorts of stuff from the ocean that Americans don't necessarily eat. So they had some real
We'll go to
unusual
the Asian
stuff.
markets out here because they have like Korean markets out here, and it's the same thing. Everything's fresh. Like,
Yeah.
they will take it out, cut its head off, wrap it up in front of you.
Yeah, that's
They're
awesome.
like, "Do you want it gutted? Do you want to do it yourself?" They're like, "It's awesome."